Welcome back to Show Me Center in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. We're getting ready for the Wrangler Final Four Showdown round, but before we do, let's go to world champion bareback rider Kelly Timmerman, where he's back there loading the chutes for the bareback ride.
Frontier Rodeo came here today and brought some of the elite horses in the world. We've got a horse called Delta Force, rank horse. Matt Bright's got this horse, and I've only seen him ride her one time, and it wasn't for a lot of points because the horse just literally tortured him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've had this horse several times. I've had him twice at the National Finals Rodeo in the top 15 horses in the world. So I'm really excited to have another shot at him.
Then we got a rematch. Sunflower and Eric Wolfer. This horse bucked him off, backdoored him at Toledo. So today's payback time. Hope to see some great rides in this Final Four Wrangler Shootout.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Right now, let's take a look at the pick-em-in tonight are Sean Spaulding and Sean Calhoun. So let's start with Matt Bright on that matchup Kelly was talking about. Delta Force, a seldom ridden horse from Frontier Rodeo Company. Matt Bright has got a handful of horsepower with this one.
Man, this horse here, lots of drop. So Matt's going to really have to be fast with them feet to be able to keep with this animal, and he's looking good, right? Oh my goodness, just a minute. I think we got everything lined out.
Boy, I tell you one thing, you talk about show strength on a horse. He had a good solid spur out when she turned out and her jerk him that hard. As we go back to the Rocky replay, she stalls, he still gets the spur out. But look at this, but look at the jerk, this jump right here. Whips him forward, almost double grabs, can't even do that.
Piles him up like a dirty shirt, and that's what happens to most people, and this guy is world class.
He is. You know, when those feet come behind them bareback riders, all that force is on that rigging. That's the only spot to go spit you out over the front end.
Right there shows you how strong that horse was.
My goodness, Delta Force is a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. As we go to the rematch, Eric Wolford, the Michigan Toothpick Cowboy. Sunflower's the horse that backdoored him, Rafter H Rodeo Company. Can he even the score?
Boy, I thought he had a tremendous ride going on earlier on this horse. If he can make it all the way, we'll see a big score. Come on, Eric, this is looking good.
Oh, same thing. Wait a minute, are you sure that's not a replay?
No,
the same video?
It wasn't, because his hat came off this time.
My goodness.
Almost in the same spot, same ride, good spur out. Look at the control with his legs. He's right where he wants to be.
Kelly, what do you see down there?
Eric Wolford 0, Sunflower 2. I don't know why that keeps happening on that horse. She's just so good. Maybe he just quit squeezing the hand. I don't know. Right there, that was a round win and just didn't come up with it. Again, he's got to be heartbroken.
Kelly, you didn't mention he had his boots on the wrong feet, that his toes were turned out. Maybe he's going to have to switch and put them boots on the right feet to hang on to that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm anxious to see if Stephen Peebles and the rest of the gang are wearing their boots different.
Hey, yeah,
trendsetter.
yeah. Speaking of which, let's go to Stephen Peebles, who's drawn that Little Bay Annie. Again, Peebles coming back with pelvis surgery. This is last year's PRS champion. What a great matchup this is going to be with Stephen Peebles.
Look at the spur out. Look at the fast speed. Horse blowing in the air. I think he's got all the rust out of his system now. This looks good.
Boy, he looked rock solid. You know, we've seen this horse before. Josie Young made a good ride on this horse. I believe it was in Reading. It's a nice little horse. You could tell he drew the one on him in this pen.
Look at this. It's all just like it should be. Raking right up the sides. Those Rocky boots placed in the neck. I like what I'm seeing.
Kelly, how did it look from where you're standing?
Talked earlier, Stephen Peebles got to knock some rust off. Drew some good horses in that Longo. Had a great horse here in the finals. I love to watch him ride. Turns his toes out, a lot of drag to his handle, some exposure, sets his feet. 166 on 2, winning the rodeo here at Cape Girardeau.
I'm telling you, it's like he took a bath in WD-40. There ain't no rust on that guy anywhere. Stephen Peebles, 87 points. Finally got one rode in the Wrangler final round. And this is Cinderella. Josie Young needs an 86.5 to take the title. The #1 rider this season so far, Cinderella from Frontier Rodeo Company. And this man looking for his glass slipper slips away.
Oh my gosh, you know, for him to reach and double grab the third jump, we're going to have to take a look at this, see what happens. Spur out, all right. Oh, I think it must have rolled his hand in that rigging, Spud, the way he got racked back too far.
Boy, I tell you what did dust him hard. I don't think he had good enough holds with his feet. Look how that left one's already dropped down there. The right one, the toes turned in, so he's not really got a hold of that thing. And a horse that size with that much power, if you don't have a hold of him, you see what happens.
What a horse from Frontier Rodeo Company. The #1 rider comes down and in some pain right here. So 4 horses out tonight. Bucks off 3 riders. What a rank pin of horses. Kelly Timberman, though, is with the champion, Stephen Peebles.
Peebles, you come in, you were sitting 4th coming the Wrangler Final 4 round, and you just knocked it out of the park.
Oh, that horse is awesome. He'd really send your feet real hard, and then you'd lay back to go send him back there to beat her back to the ground, and everything would just float in the air and let you have a lot of fun. So it was a good time. It was an awesome horse.
Well, congratulations to Peebles once again, one of the highest scores of the season. Now, as we look at our season leaders, Josie Young remains on top, and the rest of the top 5 remain unchanged. Now, the big mover this week was Stephen Peebles, who moves into the 16th spot. He's the first rider to go from 4th to 1st in the final round, and he still has work to do, though, in order to move into that top 12 so he can qualify and defend his title at the 2013 World Finals. Coming up next, the Final 4 in bull riding from here in Cape Girardeau. Willis Trosclair goes for his 2nd title of the season. Can he do it? We'll find out next.